and I will use another radio. 1 second. Okay, the name of vessel MUSHU. Michael Uniform Sierra Hotel Uniform. MUSHU, over.
Sail out from a Marina Flamenca, Panama, and heading to Marquesas, Nukuhiva. Over.
Mariano, este barco MUSHU. Cambio. Hi guys, welcome to Captain German Exploring YouTube channel.
Hey folks, I am glad to welcome you to the Captain Herman channel. And as I promised you, we are starting our Pacific trip. So get ready for our journey. We are now on Las Perlas and we are leaving in the direction of Marquez. 4,000 nautical miles are waiting for us. Let's go. So, here we are already leaving the islands of Overlos. Who does not know, this is Panama. And now we are heading for the Galapagos. The last islands that we have in front of us are Isla Pedro Gonzalez. By the way, I had an issue about him, I showed it to you. We are now turning right behind him and passing into open water, into an open water area. The weather is sunny, there is no wind, we are driving. That's what we're going to have.
Breakfast.
What's for breakfast?
Delicious. Something.
It looks like it's going to be vermicelli. In short, half of them are taciturn, but we have them in the sink. Oh mommies, what a delicious thing. In general, there will be some kind of breakfast now, I'm sure. I'm sure.
You'll see.
And this taciturn man is making him dangerous now. It's good when there is an internet connection in the transition. Great. So, after eating, how do we do the dishes? Everything is loaded into the dishwasher. A pill like this is taken, someone rushes there. No matter where, from above, closes. Turns on, selects the program. Here I am going to save water here, this is it. 0.6 kilowatts. No, let it be this. 75 minutes, 0.6 kilowatts, 5 and 8 liters. That's it, let's go. No need to wash dishes with your hands. We've just moved in, there's turbulence here, look. This is the water that comes from the Pacific Ocean, and the one that goes around Panama here. In other words, as in any strait, this phenomenon is very common, but it is local. That is, we will pass now. This will not happen. We decided to put a Starlink on the move. And now I'm going to drill 4 holes so that it gets right to the right place with 4 legs. Here's the leg, we'll put it on.
A pencil.
No, it's not necessary yet. I'll drill in place later. Oh, ready.
Don't drop it there just.
Hop is there. Yes. Splendor.
That's it. Can I continue reading the news?
Now, wait. Now it needs to be turned on, and it will be possible to continue reading the news. But, what splendor! We are walking here such huge waves. I do not know how they are usually not visible on camera. Here we have Starlink standing and working. And we have here. What is it? Mommies, what comfort is happening? Excuse me. And now I know your password. What's going on here? Great.
Will Olivier be Olivier?
Olivier?
Delicious.
Pork blank. Class. An impossible level of comfort on a yacht.
But there's no wind, you know.
I know, but I can't even see you. You're just a voice. Look how gorgeous it is. Generally cool. And so that the fan does not fall, it is fixed with raisins. Coffee and coffee. So, we're going through a tunnel now. It's still inside this Bahia de Panama. That is, we have 2 ships passing. That is, with this one we have a sip and 2 miles. But the one at the top with it is a sip mile. We seem to be passing ahead. So, well, here we are right in front of him now. We have a discrepancy of 1 mile, that is, with a good margin. But, by the way, 1 mile is tight enough. Well, although, considering that we are going through the Sol, this is normal, there is a lot of traffic here. Here he is, our handsome man is passing by. So bright, big, beautiful. So, well, here we have the morning of another day. We are still driving, and we will be driving for some time. I mean, a couple of days most likely, because now there is no wind here near Panama. The weather is just lagging behind under the sun. My shop is there just a little bit. In general, it rained all night. This is our precipitation, where the dot is where we approximately stand. If you look at the progression, there will still be rains for some time, then they pass. This is how our new system works now with electricity. And that's it, how are you? That is, we have 220 volts on the port all the time, which is very, very convenient. Every morning, I make sure to go around the boat and make sure that there are no bolts lying around, nothing has been torn off, so that everything works fine. Another squid. Morning coffee. Grayness. Well, I've already planned it offshore anyway. There is one water everywhere, which I like much more.
Little shit.
Well, I think it will pass in a couple of days. He's a cloud coming to us. This rain is nasty again. Unpleasant drops are already flying. The whole table is already a drop. The whole floor is wet in a drop. In general, everything is coming now. How elegant with morning coffee. It's clear that it's very cold now, and such Arctic yachting, right? So, now the morning check of energy and fuel reserves. So, we have, well, full batteries of course, and we have 58% fuel. So, we have no changes in the weather here. Look at how gray, how disgusting. It seems as if just the details in the sky were turned off. We put it on now, it helps us a little, but it's such a wind, that is, it doesn't exist, it changes. In general, while the wind is unstable, there is no sense in the sail. We're having a light snack right now. Here is such a great instant vermicelli you have with what? I have ramen. Ramen? Shrimp? Yes, I think so. I have. In short, it's cardboard. It's cardboard. Cardboard with the inscription cow. What is this? You have two. In general, when it shakes and when it blows, it's the best food. While there is still no wind, we are driving, but we know that now is such a season, and it will be so, but it depends on what time. According to my calculations, half of the road is somewhere around 450 miles. We will go like this, of which we have already passed 300. The weather is great. There are no clouds, because the clouds have really already got hits on the head constantly, in general, an unpleasant story. But this is a zone here that runs along Panama. Half of the road to Galapagos it's going to be rainy. The low pressure is so unpleasant. Then it will be easier. And then we already lie down on the posed and go straight to Martes. So, we have 40% fuel here, and I think we're going to take and pour fuel here for our full tank. So, on fuel at 60%, we have covered 360 nautical miles. That is, roughly speaking, there are about 500 and a penny miles we can go on the tank. That is, we have more than 2 tanks, 2.5 tanks somewhere in stock. That is, we can walk more than 1,000 miles. In other words, we will reach Galapagos in any case on fuel. Therefore, we are here in safe zones, and we will see whether we refuel or not, because if we come, we will have at least half a tank there. Then there is no point. We will just go. Because there is a very big hemorrhoid in the Galapagos with this, and you will need to jump there with tambourines to persuade us to refuel.
Good morning.
Hi there. Good morning. Mommies, how far we've come. Where is Earth? Well, in general, we don't have any changes from the outside. Would you like some coffee? Of course. Great. Traditions. In short, I've run out of my offshore wet boots. I decided to take these shorties. In short, it turned out to be not the best solution, because no matter how you don't put on your pants, they don't care. You sit down, they rise, and begin to flow through the top here. Here is the water, and you get wet feet. In short, short shoes are for wet floors, but for dry weather, when nothing flows from the pants. Otherwise, it's a mistake. What is it? Gorgeous. And what is this?
An unfamiliar jar, right?
Yes. The refrigerator came. In short, we have 4 hours now. That is, we are so smoothly approaching sunset. It will be soon, but not soon, but it's already possible to switch to a relaxed mode. Otherwise, we've been straining all day. And in the evening, we want to relax. Therefore, we can open a beer. We will now have such a half dinner after a half dinner. And in the evening, Dina promised to cook for us.
Paradise, paradise.
Paradise. Kaidao paradise. This is a Thai dish with chicken, fried rice with chicken. Come on, do it for us. Bon appetit. Thank you.
Why are you taking off my bread?
Well, it's probably hard to see right now, but there's an airplane moving across the sky, and usually these low-flying planes. It could be some kind of Coast Guard, maybe someone else is just monitoring the water area. But we haven't been contacted yet, so we'll see. In any case, they fly around in a circle, maybe they want something. Well, we have a radio, you can contact us easily. Coast Guard is clearly with what? With such a blue stripe.
1 second, I will use another radio. 1 second. Okay, the name of vessel Mushu. Michael, Uniform, Sierra, Hotel, Uniform. Mushu, over.
Copy, sir. That's a good copy. What nationality?
The nationality of boat is a Polish. Over.
Copy, Polish. And what was your last port of call and your destination?
We sail out from a Marina Flamenca, Panama, and heading to Marquesas, Hiva, Nuku Hiva. Over.
Yes, sir. We just would like to inform you there is a derelict vessel that is has capsized not far from your vicinity and is a hazard to navigation. Be careful as you pass through this area.
Okay, Roger that. Could you please tell me what is the destination to the vessel, and do they need any assistance? Over.
No, sir. The vessel is, there is no one to our knowledge on board the vessel. It has been capsized for some time, but it is large and would cause damage if you were to hit it with your boat.
Roger that. Is it on our way, and should we change our course? Could you advise, please? Over.
Sir, the vessel is at your 230 at approximately 4 miles. We recommend a heading of 190 for at least 5 miles to avoid possible collision.
Roger that, thank you very much. We will keep our course and we will be very careful for navigation. After 10 miles we will be more relaxed. Thank you very much, you doing a great job. Over.
And thank you, sir. Good sailing and be safe.
Thank you, have a great day, and thank you for your assistance. Cheers. Over.
Cheers.
Stand by on 6. That's the story, guys. Did you hear that? An overturned boat is big and can make a lot of problems. In short, we're going to look for her now. We heard that there is a capsized boat here. We immediately turned onto it.
And it's shorter than 500 meters. I thought, let's go.
Me too. When?
How much?
Watch it without me, because we realized that you can walk faster. And this rum, by the way, is delicious. Not the usual Panamanian one, but the one you brought. This, is that right? Yes, yes. This one which? This is the first one that, which is in a bottle, which is with a strapping. Oh, that's a very good one. How is this word secret in Lithuanian?
Да, и свеката.
И свеката, вот и свеката.
На здоровье.
Look how beautiful it is. Well, I see. Always. I'm always ready. Hit me on the head. Take it off, take it off. No, no, just hit the floors. No, no, don't kick. Just beat the floors.
And the music is playing. I'm going to try it for the first time.
Well, let's see how it reacts. Edible.
Delicious.
And fresh enough and fresh. And fresh enough. So people, we have one big problem. You know that the mast stands on the shrouds, on the vertical, and on the diagonal. And here we have a diagonal shroud now, and it has burst in our place of attachment from below to the torbical lanyard. And we almost lost the mast, because the mast started to hang out, and we replaced it in an emergency. We have emergency systems. Here is such a crimp. We replaced and installed, well, from what we could, because we are now offshore. We removed the system from our storm and stretched the diagonal on it. But since I disassembled this cone system, which fits on the end, or rather assembled it for the first time, a small mistake was made. I'm going to explain to you now how it's all done, but in the middle of the night, we had this crimping decompressed. Well, thank God everything went well, but we were very nervous. We solved the issue there all night, then talked with our friends, who advised us what to do. In short, we found what the reason was. We have collected everything now, and everything seems to be okay, but the nerves were frayed during the night. Of course, very much. Well, we didn't shoot it for you, because you understand that absolutely, when these problems are solved, it's not up to filming. And it's still all at night. Well, just red lights running around there, shouting something. Well, in general, it doesn't matter. Now we have this whole system. We have put an additional rope on the clouds next to it. The rope goes and is attached where we go, or raspets, goes here and goes further, and while it is on the duck. Well, in general, so far it is. Now let me show you how this system actually works, which is finally put on the cable if you have any problem. So, we have this kind of thing. This is on purpose. If something goes wrong with you, here they are needed. And that's what it consists of. This upper part is put on the cable, then the cable is unwound, a core is inserted here, and a braid is around it. And then it is inserted here and clamped. But what's the problem? We are like this, we did it, but when the braid is put on here, it needs to reach not to the end, but bend all the way around this whole collet, and then be inserted. We didn't bend it, and it just slipped over time with a big wave and made us problems. In short, it is very important that all of this is going to bend right there, and the entire core is left in the middle. This thing here is 10 millimeters under the cable. This is such a dark front from behind. It's creeping closer and closer to us. That is, we pass far away, it forms there in front. Relatively clean. It's raining, hasn't it? He never left. Well, it was a little easier for a while. 3 days. Well, yes. It's delicious. Dina makes kefir. Do you like to bask in the sun? Tropical climate of the equator. We've been tanned for a lot. Now we had to get dressed for the sun, you know. It was hot to cool down. It's already hurting. In general, it is not necessary to burn when you see such weather and people are sailing in it. It means they probably burned us in another sun yesterday. Such great weather. But you can see the horizon. So, well, we've had this terrible rain. Are you wet?
No, my butt wasn't burned. I'm not scared.
It's fine. So now we are sailing. Then it will become a little lighter. Then it will become a little darker. In general, this. Despite the weather, we have dinner on schedule. I'm not having dinner right now. It's 15:26. It's probably such a half man. Here we have such a delicious homemade. Class. Potatoes, salad. What is it? Chicken. Well, good morning, everyone. We have another morning of another day. With Dima, we have from the watch, and there is a magnificent sunrise on the street, and on this side. There is a cloud that has just passed and doused us. And maybe it's her. It was dry all night, but right away they turned on the rain when you're napping like that and it covers. Now we have entered the zone when it is already starting to blow, and these are just the very first swallows, but we will already use them, because we are tired of driving on the motor. Here you see, now we have made a turn, and the wind, it blows from below, and will continue. We're going to go around in such a big circle and turn with the wind. In other words, our current course is directly related to the wind. Here we are somewhere in the middle of this strip, and here it will increase like this, decrease somewhere. But it will blow all the time along the top. We will use this opportunity and try to catch this wind. Let me show you how garbage is disposed of. That is, everything that dissolves overboard. And everything that doesn't dissolve, like plastic. We have bottles like these that remain after water, and we put all the plastic wrappers in these bottles. And the big bottles, we have one bottle in which the sidewall is torn off here. Here, with scissors, they are cut like this, and these parts, which are really big, they go here like this. In other words, we are saving a lot of space, because we only have garbage left. And here we have a smelly jar. There are meat bags here. That is, this opens only when there is a sound of a biohazard siren. Our shroud is already made, packed, and Deichel is already leaving. This is the speed. We ordered it 2 hours ago. And the story is actually very simple. We decided that there was still a long distance ahead, and it would be much better if we went on a normal shroud. Since we are not far from Galapagos, then we decided to make this shroud and send it directly to the Galapagos. But the joke is that most likely in the Galapagos, they will give us 24 hours there, and we need to add this time to our estimated time, so that we have time to pick it up everywhere and put it on and leave already on a normal shroud. So, think about it. We order a shroud in the middle of the ocean. It's made in Lithuania, right? In Latvia. And they make it in Latvia, they pick it up there, bring it to Lithuania, and send it from there. And she goes all over the world, to Ecuador, to the Galapagos, and there we pick her up in 4 days. Here is such a strange story, and all this is possible, thanks to the internet offshore. This is a very strange decision. And friends, of course. So thanks to all the friends who helped, and to the friends who ordered it at all. Can you imagine some kind of huge chain, some kind of huge process? So guys, thank you very much. I don't know you, but we have a person who clearly knows who it was. Therefore, the gratitude from our entire team is very big. And now the sun has come out again.
Show me the speed. We're going with you, Splendor.
Dina didn't appreciate the joke. Well, okay, the sun really came out. This is our speed, the wind. But we persistently wait for the right wind to start pulling us in our direction.
We lay down to the side.
Lay down. In the direction. You can't run in the direction of go. You can't go in the direction of crawl. And here we have Dina making kefir. She has such special starter cultures. She puts it in milk and puts it out in the sun. And the hotter the sun, the faster fermentation takes place. Therefore, we have kefir, ryazenka, yogurt, and a whole set of different things. It really tastes good, and you don't need to pour a new pack every time. You take it when you pour it into a glass, and then leave one glass, pour it into the next pack. And it can be enough for many, many times. So, we have plans for cooking dinner today. What's going to happen with us? In general, do you have any thoughts? There's going to be food anyway, right?
Or chicken, or chicken.
We're cooking chicken today.
Well, in my opinion.
Or meat.
Well, I looked into the chicken's eyes. Now I'll look the meat in the eyes.
Cows.
Cows, and we'll know then.
Look how beautiful it is here. Evening. You see, my music turns off when I do the broadcast, then I don't like doing them. I'm switching to music. A terrible story. Hello everyone. We have the morning of another day, and now we have an audit. Revision of resources. So let's go. The battery is 89% active charge, the fuel is 47%. But we are already sailing. As sea works, it's Starlink here. That's how he consumes 49 to 50 watts. So, now our solar panels will swing here. We will have a little more. But most importantly, we came out of the zone that was motorized. And now we have come into the zone when we started sailing. That is, we are already sailing all night. We have it reefed, although the wind is certainly weak for this. But this is done in order not to load our shroud, which is injured. I am more than sure that everything is fine with it, and we have already done it perfectly. But we have to go another 300 milli Galapagos, and today is Tuesday, and the task is to get our spare part on Friday. That is, we need 3 days, so we need to stretch 300 nautical miles for 3 days. This is a speed of 4 knots, that's actually why we are going like this. So, I started the dishwasher. We didn't run it at night to save electricity, because during the day we have solar panels, and now it all works from the sun. And at night we would work from a battery. My morning coffee is not only for pleasure, but also with benefits. Here I have 2 bottles here. I've already cut a lot of empty bottles here, and here I have bottoms and necks. That is, it turns out to store a very, very large amount of garbage in a very small volume. What about you?
Did I bring you a tangerine?
Yes, I'm not going to have coffee yet, a little later. We contacted the consul of Ecuador of Lithuania, explained the whole situation. He said he wanted to help and could, but he asked us to send our passports, boat documents. Everyone did it. Now we are waiting for an answer. I think that everything will work out there, and we will even have 1 or 2 days to walk around. So you found a problem with our shroud that you were crimping. was uncompressed. Now we approach her every hour. We tightened it again completely. It sat there for a few more turns. Now we approach her every hour and check. Since we have a big swag, we removed the sails just in case, and now we're just watching so that we don't have any problems with our shroud. So that it doesn't dissolve, God forbid, because we won't assemble it in such a pitching. 181 nautical miles to Galapagos. We are going under sail. The shroud has withstood us. We went there once in half an hour to check if everything was fine. We squeezed it here when in the evening. Now let's go look at the next labels again. In general, everything is in place. The wind is 21 knots. I think that when it subsides a little, so as not to load on a windy shroud, we will try to set sails. Oh, that's how it happens. It's also slippery. And we got such a frost-resistant hello. We still have him flying water. Dina, what happened to you? Show me your back. It's good that you covered for me, but it's bad that I would have had time to jump away if you hadn't covered for me. Due to the fact that it constantly flies into the face, it's already kind of warm, you can sit in a t-shirt. But no. Here people are sitting, warmly dressed, probably freezing after winter. Do owls have any rules? Should there be? On a boat in Neprum? Yes, that is, you come to Martinique somewhere there. There's plus 35, people drink champagne. And you're like that on a boat in a storm and went. It doesn't spin. Done the job, walk boldly. Run fast. We roll the pipes. Something's wrong. And now we will be washed away.
Well, that's it. They ran away.
That's it, we checked the shroud. We twisted it even more. It no longer turns at all. Not even a millimeter gave in. Is that why we're setting sail? Mindugas, tell me, what news do we have about entering the Galapagos? The Galapagos are waiting for us. Baked a pie. How do I say this? Pie. The pie was baked and that's it. Now we have to send an email with a Bombin signal because we are 200 miles to this port. And then we will contact them by radio when we are already reaching. About 40 miles, right. Well, they're on 2040, somewhere, as it turns out. Yes, and when they get to work, when they will be waiting for us, and they said they would agree to keep us as long as necessary. But we need to, in my opinion, until Monday. I think this is good news, because knowing how it works on the Galapagos, I was very worried. Because they are very tough in terms of visits. And if we had just walked in without communication through the consulate, I'm sure we would have just been stupidly sent to hell. And since they were warned through the official authority, and they are waiting for us, I think that's great, because, well, we need to really comply. In other words, we don't just want to go there, but we have a really serious problem. And big risks to move on with such a rating as we have. Therefore, we will write now too. So the time came when we ran out of wind, we turned down, and, in fact, we are already going to the capital in Galapagos. So, well, we are already approaching the Galapagos. We have another 40 miles to Galapagos, namely to the capital, to Puerto Ayora. But I think we will try to contact them in advance to be a law well done. So I'm going to try to contact you by radio now. Will they answer? Will they answer? No. I'll try again in 20 miles.
Puerto Ayora pod control, Puerto Ayora pod control. Sailing vessel MUSHU calling. Do you read me? Over.
Well, I think they won't answer, because it's too far away, but you never know, you never know. Anyway, maybe some Hogarth will hear that we are calling them, and they will have some kind of mark. Although I think that where there will be fishing, it will already be possible to communicate with her. In general, there is usually very little wind at the equator, that is, if there is any more here. Because there is a posad that runs along our planet, a little south of the equator, it starts somewhere 2 degrees, probably even 1. No, well, it starts somewhere 2 degrees. Then in other places of our planet, the equator is absolute calm. And the fact that it blows a little bit here is generally amazing. But in fact, you need to be patient, stock up on fuel. Because at the equator you usually always have to drive. Why aren't you sleeping?
And don't miss it.
Here people got up specially at 6 in the morning, between half of their watch. Or rather, how the watch went for half an hour. They overslept half my watch and got up. But because the equator is not waiting. Look, the equator is already a little bit more. Here's the strip. There it is already visible. There it is on the ocean like this. Here it is. Here we are already crossing it. And that's it. Well, I congratulate you. You are already in the southern hemisphere. Aren't you elated? Well, we are already generally close to the Galapagos. Look. This is Santa Cruz and here is Igor. This is where we need to go. There are 30 miles left to the end, that is, less than 27 to the island itself. You see, there are clouds in the distance. The contour of the Earth is already visible under them. This is Santa Cruz Island. This is the first island we go to, which we see here in the Galapagos. We are now so seriously revving up. Well, not that seriously, but about 2, because we need to try. Well, at least not to go into the full mob. So that at least something can be seen, because going into new places when you don't understand where there is and how, it will be a little complicated, so you need to hear. I really want to make it this way. That is, it seems like it's not far, but it seems like it's also a little far.
Captain Puerto Ayora, sailing vessel MUSHU calling. Do you read me? Over.
Well, this is what the Galapagos look like. Such a low coast, weathered all over, and big waves that beat into it. And that's where you see the cloud ends. This is Puerto Ayora. That is, it is, in fact, the capital of all the Galapagos. All tours leave from here. And so we are going there, because there is all the infrastructure that we need.
Puerto Ayora, sailing vessel MUSHU calling. Do you read me? Over.
Well, what is it?
Good morning, sir. The sailing vessel MUSHU. Go ahead.
I understand you have an emergency. Can you tell me what kind of emergency?
We have a problem with our mast fixing. We have a problem with the shroud, and we headed 200 miles away.
and we send all the information by mail, and our embassy contacts the Capitaneria and they should have all information about our case. And now we are approaching. Over.
Well, in general, Coast Guard has already contacted us. They asked, by the way, do they speak English normally? And they, well, said, drop anchor wherever you find it, then contact us. What kind of help do you need from us? If we need any help, they can come up and help us maneuver. I said dynamo. That's it? In short, we anchored. Here they are standing around the boat. It cannot be said that we are straight, and we are not rocking. There is a small collapse, but in principle, it is not fatal. That is, you can live. By the way, agents, the head of this armada, just came to us and said that they had scared us there, that there would be an inspection tomorrow, and that all these things would dive. Look at the hull. Look at whether we have cockroach beetles. But this is standard practice, as I understand it, when walking into the Galapagos.
Это стандартная практика, я так понимаю, при захождении на Галапагосы.
Now we are deciding through embassy, how we, through the embassy, how we will sort this out. But I hope everything will work out. Because today is Friday, we were given 48 hours, and the detail will arrive on Monday, maybe even in the evening. And we are 48 hours. Well, it doesn't suit us at all. So tomorrow everyone will be to decide, because it's already night. By the way, the most professional here who met us was Coast Guard. They communicated in normal English, showed us where to get up, where to drive. In general, in short, well done. While others are less well done, but Coast Guard is more. Well, good morning. We have another day. We are in the Galapagos, a low island covered with rain clouds, which hangs so very low. Small houses are just scattered randomly along the shore. They are standing on an anchor boat. That's where the main city pier is so small. Next to it is Captain Ree's office. A fairly large swell comes in there. It can't be said that it's super comfortable to stand here. The waves are oceanic and the boats are chattering. If you look at where Safari is there, here they are small, they are chatting, let them too. And here you see, a small green boat rides behind, it's a garbage can. Here they come, and you can throw away all the garbage that we have. The guys just took out the garbage, $3 turned out to be one big bag. Yes. For registration in the Galapagos, you need an agent who will tell you how much it will cost. I will tell you about pricing in the next video, because this is a very funny story. Since they form prices as they see fit, depending on the circumstances. It will be in the next release. But in any case, you will need to pass an inspection. They dive, check the bottom so that it is not dirty, so that you do not bring any animals. Flora and fauna from other regions to the Galapagos because they care very much about the cleanliness of the ecosystem around. Then emigration, all port services, armada, and so on. That is, you have about an hour and a half of entertainment, and after that you are given permission to go to land, and generally stay in the territorial waters of Ecuador and Galapagos, but if you pay a large amount. And here we are talking about thousands of dollars. In addition, an inspection takes place on the boat and checks that you do not have any living creatures, no flowers. And we had oranges. They asked us not to take them outside, but just to remove them from the outside inside, so that if it fell into the water, the seeds would not germinate anywhere on the shore. So, our tortoise is all gone. In general, we were rolled out the sum of 1,300. This is according to the most modest negotiation calculations. We disagree with her. In general, we are still figuring it out, because it usually costs to 500, but we don't need it at all. Because we come here in an emergency, and we just need to obey and get out. Therefore, of course, no one will pay such sums. So, what's next? We have a task. We need to wash things. So we were told the vetch channel at 14 is called Mariana. We call him on the radio.
Mariano, este barco Mushu. Cambio.
Adelante, aquí Mariano.
Hola Mariano, para nosotros necesitamos lavandería. Este barco aquí en el centro de todos los barcos.
Copiado, voy en unos 15 minutos, ¿ya?
Perfecto, 15 minutos, bueno, gracias a usted.
Gracias, Toledo.
In short, Mariana will arrive in 15 minutes. Take away the clothes to wash. That's how it works here. Lavandaria arrived.
Por favor, separado. Una, dos.
Ok, perfecto. Todo separado. Ok, amigo.
Separado también.
Ok, todo separado. Perfecto.
Sí,
Para
mucho.
mañana, ¿ya?
Sí, ¿qué hora?
¿Está bien a la tarde?
Sí, bueno.
¿Bien a la tarde?
Sí, sí.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias a usted.
Just like that here. We arrived, took the stuff. Tomorrow afternoon they will bring it.
Some of the people come out here. They have such a cool macrame on all the piers with ropes and hoses. Macrame, there, if you look closely, you will see that there are hoses and ropes.
So, the Galapagos Islands, or the Archipelago de Colón. Many people think that this is the Galapagos Archipelago, but this is completely incorrect. They are located 1,000 miles south of Panama and 1,000 kilometers, or 600 nautical miles, to Ecuador to the nearest land. It includes about 100 islands, among which there are only a few large ones, and a huge number of small ones. Sometimes even the size of a stone, they're more often from under the water. In the capital of Puerto Ayora, it is from here that most of the tourist routes leave. It is located on the island of Santa Cruz. About 200,000 tourists visit Galapagos every year. And, in fact, the entire infrastructure that exists on the island is designed for this. The main areas of tourism are ecotourism, diving, hiking, bird watching, and other animal observations. That is, there are a huge number of endemic flora and fauna on the islands. You can meet sea turtles, land turtles, marine and amphibious iguanas, fur seals, and in general a huge variety of birds that have found shelter on these harsh islands. The climate is on average equatorial, that is, a zone of low pressure. It rains constantly. And in general the weather is not the most unpleasant. The average annual temperature is from 26 to 30 degrees, that is, like any islands that are located on the equator. By the way, the Galapagos are part of Ecuador, and Ecuador gained its independence in 1822 year from Spain. The Galapagos first appeared on Gerard Mercator's maps. And of course, we need to say about Charles Darwin, who was on his trip to these islands. It is very important to note that being only 5 weeks old in 1835 year, Charles Darwin. By the way, he was about 25 years old at the time, if I'm not mistaken. He saw so many different animals from flora and fauna. And it was being on the Galapagos Islands that inspired him to create a theory of evolution. Therefore, there are a lot of streets, islands, names of some Charles Darwin cultural centers in the Galapagos. I am sometimes asked why a rear anchor is needed. Let me show you now. Here we have a very unpleasant side collapse. In order to remove it, we will now throw the rear anchor. We have a 25-kilogram delta here. We tied a gray rope to the front part. There will be a fender on it, and on the back. We just have a rope that will be on the back duck. Here the depth is 5 meters, we dumped another 30 meters. And now our task is to stretch out on this whole chain, and so I turned on the reverse gear, we just stupidly drive back. And we need to drive up to that boat. Here we go until the goal stops working for us. So, and now we felt almost a jerk. That is, it means that the boat has stopped and has already stretched completely on the chain. That's how our anchor went to the bottom, and now we are pulling a little bit, and that's all we are standing. Now Dino will be pulling up. Well, that's it, we removed the transverse pitching. We stand, here we have a swell coming, and we stand with our muzzle to it. So everything is great. So, here we have people who came from the shore. How do you like it there? Is it very beautiful? Very beautiful. There are a lot of children. Everyone is walking. Everyone is jumping into the water. So it seems that they live there constantly in the water. That's from the price, it's awesome. Very, very expensive. Well, a simple wine in Lithuania costs 8-9 euros there. It costs $27 and $30 a bottle. Here's a beer. We drank 2 glasses of beer with Christina for $10. Well, so seriously with prices. I think the locals don't pay that much. Exactly. How do you like it on the shore at all? Warm, beautiful. A little wet. Well, come on in. As I'm already sick of this dreary weather in the Galapagos. It's just some kind of nightmare. It's raining all the time, all the time. That is him. We saw the sun once or twice. We have already started having problems with our batteries. Today, BMCs began to disconnect. Then the sun rose, but like the sun, it rose through the clouds and became a little easier. That is, at least he stopped passing out. Now everyone will wake up. We will probably start. We will charge. But people, 2 kilowatts of solar panels, and we are discharged. Usually they work at night from the moon. What a nightmare. And we are waiting for this detail. She didn't arrive yesterday. Or rather, we were told that she would come. She was supposed to be everywhere on tracking, but no. Now we are going to deal with the main office, and we still have the batteries sagged, the internet went out. Well, in short, it's all a sad story together.
It's fine. There you have it. Take it in the trunk. How pleased. Oh my God.
And what are you?
That's it. Let's run. Wait. We still have to go to the store for beer and...
So it can. And maybe they will come.
You're on your way.
We have what to do.
Yes, you are going. And we will come to them. Here's a picture for you.
In the game for 100.
Go ahead, don't beat the eggs.
They say Vanta has arrived. Yes, that's what they say. We don't know what it is yet. Well, it looks like a quantum. What? To Antex. There's no time to explain. We need some kind of knife, you know. There is. Yes, where is the other one? Here's another one. There is a suspicion that this metal thing is not there. But if something comes off old, it's not a problem. So, one time. This is it, this is it.
Это есть, это есть.
At the exit from Galapagos, you need to pass a checkout. All port services, immigration, port control are coming. It's an army, or they call it an armada. Be sure to be an agent. I draw up all the documents for the exit. In general, with these papers, we have the right to leave Puerto Ayora. So, well, friends, we are ready to go. Here I'm going to show you our magnificent shroud. She's new, she's beautiful. On that side, we put our old shroud. In general, we are ready to go. Now let's have our morning coffee and start moving, because how long can you sit on these Galapagos? So, a few words about the Galapagos. You know that going to the Galapagos has always been expensive, and with a lot of brain power. Usually it costs about $2,500 to go in, if it's two of us, and another $250 per person, if you have more people in your team. So, we are talking about the fact that in the area of Treshka, you will cost a visit to Galapagos. But, since we entered the emergency, we were given 48 hours. We stood for 48 hours for free, but there was no way to go ashore. Only the captain could go ashore. We are not satisfied with this, because we were expecting a package. So by hook or by crook, with all the dialogues, we came to the conclusion that in fact, that we found out, that the prices in the Galapagos are absolutely random. They are set simply at the discretion of the one who comes to your boat. That is, in general, completely from the fool. There is some kind of unified price list, but you can always discuss it. They are extremely reluctant to do this. You must have serious arguments. We were told, in the end, after recalculating all the introductory ones, and checking the boat for fouling, they told us $1,350 would cost us a call, which is not bad in principle, because it's considered to have the price from the original one. But not everything is so clear. We did not agree. We said that we had an accident. There was no money, so I'm sorry. We will find ways there through the embassy, through the consulate, through anyone to solve our issues. In the end, without paying anyone anything, everyone left. We paid only $50 for their delivery and said that we would settle everything a little later. But we stood like that for a week. Periodically we were written that they say, you are still here, it would be necessary to legalize. In general, we said that we were already leaving, and we agreed on what the TSARPs were doing to us. This is Fortis. And we need to pay immigration. In total, we got $380. We paid 80 portathers for 20 people, $20 a person for immigration, and 50 for the delivery of all services to us on the boat. And there are really a lot of them. There are about 10 people there. In short, consider that this visit to the Galapagos cost us around $500. Despite the fact that, in principle, if we had emigrated earlier, we could conditionally stand there for up to 20 days without any additional problems, but it's all very difficult. If I wanted to go to the Galapagos, I would definitely find a budget, and would go there just as usual, without all these dances with tambourines and stories about how it is necessary that we broke down and so on. But we really had a breakdown. We were waiting for the guy, but if we go in this way, then there simply won't be, I say right away. There will be a lot of hemorrhoids.